make the bread. All right, I think we are live. Leah, we are live. I believe we're live, and you are live on Raw and Real. Raw and Real. Real and Raw. We will, well, we're going to put it out to you, to this,
Real and raw. Yeah.
whether
What do you
you
like?
want raw and real or real and raw. Okay, so we're putting it out to you. You let us know below. Would you like to the name of this program to be Raw and Real or Real and Raw? All right. Or it doesn't matter. Okay, so but we're going with Real and Raw right now. And so we want to first wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom, and it's good to be with you. We're going to be on. Here we are still having this problem. Okay, how's it sound now? All right. I have echo cancellation, but I think the echo cancellation does something. So I just turned it off, and it sounds pretty good now.
Yes, it's better than.
Yeah, I'm not hearing that
Oh.
double talk. Okay, good. We're trying to, we really are trying to get this together here. All right, we're going to be on very short today. Shabbat comes in literally 25 minutes, so we just came on to wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and so we should be on right around 6 a.m., 6 and 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every year. Let me bring in my, also, I see we have, all right, everybody. I am wanting to, where to go? We should be able to, Leah, get all of our, one of the things we should be able to do is get all of our chats here. Okay, so let's see here. See if that is opening those chats up. Aha, I found it. No, that takes us over to Facebook. Okay, let's come back. Let's see if this is, yeah, this is, we should have our comments here. Oh, hi, everybody. Let's see.
Oh, do you see my comment there?
I'm not seeing any comments. I should be seeing comments everywhere. Are you seeing anything for comments? Do you see it?
Not on the screen, no.
Yeah, no, we should have comments here. Let's see here. Okay. This should be it. I should have it now. Okay, I think I do. There we go.
Oh, yeah, you click.
All right, I finally got it. Here we go. Boker Tov. Boker Tov to Linda. Linda Boker Tov. Good to see you this morning. All right. Now we got our comments and we are ready to roll. All right, just bear with us. We're starting this. Bear with us. Also, we're going to move this. I am, and we'll get Leah over to our another new platform where we're going to be reposting on, and that is the Parler platform. There's a huge concern, folks, that the censoring of platforms like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube are going to become so so restrictive that we have to start moving and shifting to platforms that are going to not censor what we say if we are in the religious or conservative camps. And so Parlor is one of those new platforms, and it's pretty interesting. I haven't learned it yet, but I am over there now. You can find me there at Kim Johnson. Unraveling the Washington Web, but we're checking it out. I have never had a problem with Facebook. I've never had a problem with Twitter. Have you, Leah? Have you had any trouble with them? David just
Yes,
did.
just this week I had a problem. They sent me a note. Am I echoing on yours?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead and try to maybe come a little bit closer. Let's see about your sound here. They said you sound 20,000
Okay.
leagues under the sea.
Yeah, they sent me a note that something I posted, which I had received from someone suggesting that the American military had gone into Germany to take some of the computers.
Go ahead, Leah. Okay. Let's get Leah back here. Leah, can we get you? Did you freeze on us here? All right. Okay. Here we go. Hey everyone. All right. Oy. This is not working out too well, is it? Um, okay. Yeah, we don't have, try again. Here we go. We lost her. Somehow we lost her. Yeah, frozen. Frozen. Yes. Totally frozen. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can bring the interview back online. If not, I'm going to continue right now. And this is, I'm going to continue until we can see if we can get Leah back online. She probably is going to have to call back in because we don't have anything on the interview here. Um, and so she's going to probably have to call back in. Okay. In the meantime, one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was was a post that was on Megyn Kelly's podcast. She had it transcribed. She posted on her Twitter feed, and I went there. There was a post. I went to her Twitter feed, and I read the transcript of her podcast. It was a transcript from a man named Glenn Lowry, and he happens to be commenting on the New York Times. He's a professor, and I'm not exactly sure where he's a professor, but I think he's working on something called the 1619 Project. But again, don't quote me on this. I don't know his background. I haven't looked him up. Not to say that I will not do all of that, but I haven't at this point. So, anyways, he happened to say this, and I did. I will post when I do the replay. I'll actually post it, and I'll make sure you have a copy of this, and you might even already seen it. I posted on Facebook and several platforms. I've already posted the transcript itself. But he made this statement about the founding of the country, 1776 to 1787. The creation of the United States of America was a world historic event in which the Enlightenment ideals got initiated into government institutions. And because of time, I'm not going to go into the details of the Enlightenment. That is a part of history where 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 the oppression and the marginalization of European society was changing. And so, just like there was a huge move for industrialization in the 1800s, and we began to see this into the 1900s, the Industrial Revolution, there was a this Enlightenment period where all of a sudden there was emancipation for Jews in Europe. There was emancipation, both the Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews. You started to see women being able to participate in different functions. You were starting to be able to see this is a heightened level of academia and people being attending schools and learning to read. And prior to this, people were really kept in the dark. The church controlled everything in Europe, and they uh, they intentionally kept the people very ignorant, so they could teach them what they wanted, lead them the way they wanted. And when the people started to be able to read, and they started to be able to understand the discrepancies between the church and what was really in the Bible, what was really going on in society. You began to see this, the beginning of this incredible period of enlightenment, and people started to come out from under the shackles of tyranny. And this was really a huge influence, of course, into the foundation and formation of America, because home of the free. So it goes on to say, and as a matter of fact, within a century, slavery was gone. Now, I had somebody contest this, and I haven't responded to them yet, but he does go on to say that even though slavery, okay, under Abraham Lincoln, the abolishment of slaves in America changed not just the face of America, but it also changed the ethos of America. It was continually um, breaking rank with aspects of history that were incongruent with the Torah. And slavery was one of them. Slavery really manifested itself in some of the most gruesome ways under the Roman Empire. Not to say there wasn't slavery as far back in history that as we can go. Even biblical history, there was slavery. Let's just start with the Jews. All right. God even told, all right, Abraham that there was going to come a day that he was going to take the lineage, the family of Abraham, which ultimately was the family of Jacob, and take them into Egypt where they would be slaves. Slaves for 400 years. And under what? What? Under Pharaoh. Okay, so slavery in men were used and women as chattel to build empires. And of course, the Egyptian empire being the empire of that day. I mean, it was the glory of the nations of that day. And so Jews were slaves. We were slaves. And we understand a little bit about slavery. Just a tit, okay? Just a little bit about slavery. And this is where he's going. He's saying slavery was abolished. Well, first of all, Jews had a lot to do with slavery being abolished in America. They fought for the civil rights of the black people, okay? And the Africans that came over, with the Dutch industries, the Dutch company, and that industry, and the southern part of America uh, had a lot of plantations. Of course, there were a lot of slaves that were part of those plantations because they were used, of course, to sow and reap crops. So slavery was a very integrated part of the South, especially, more so than the North, and in America. However, you have to remember all these people came over from Europe. And slavery was entrenched in Europe. It was entrenched in the Roman Empire. In fact, it is said today that the Vatican is still the young child trafficking and sex slaves trafficking that runs through Europe and Rome today is still very, very prevalent. All right, slavery is still very real throughout the world. In fact, and I'm talking from memory, but I think probably about 2 years ago I highlighted the what was going on over in Africa and what was going on with the Yazidis and what was going on, how these sects of Islam uh, definitely came in. Uh, yeah, we are on Facebook. Yes, hold on. These sects of Islam came in and they were taking all the young girls and using them as sex slaves. I mean, this is going on in the world today at an alarming rate. And that's why when you begin to have to deal with these Black Lives Matters groups and all of this narrative that's trying to be cultivated in America about how horrible America is and how we have oppressed the African American community and how we were built on slavery, it's just a lie. It's an absolute pure lie because it's out of context and it never discusses the unfolding of emancipation for the African American. So Glenn Lowry goes on to say in this, he said, even though the back of slavery was broken through the president of Abraham Lincoln, I've shared this before with my audience that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican president, but Johnson, his vice president, was a Democrat. And as soon as Abraham Lincoln was killed, and he was killed because, and one of the major reasons he was killed is because he emancipated the African American Negro community. And they hated it. They hate freedom. And Johnson, his vice president, wanted to reinstitute slavery, and he was a Democrat. And if you are a Democrat today, you need to look into your history because always it has been the Democratic Party that has wanted to institute laws that limit the freedoms of American people. And this goes all the way back to the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. Okay, so we're going way back to some of these rifts. And so you always see it has been the Republican Party. The Republican Party led, all right, emancipation. The Republican Party has led the liberties, the freedoms, and the integration of immigration communities. And so they have led this throughout the history of America. And that's why you really, really need to look at history and not from a biased perspective. All right? Because right now, there's a whole lot of revisionists out there rewriting history. So let me continue with what Glenn Lowry said. It says the United States of America, all right, or he talked about slavery was gone within a century, 100 years. And he does clarify himself, though. He says, and you know what? The people who had been African chattel became citizens of the United States of America. Now, that had not happened in any other part of the world. And now, at first, they were not equal citizens. Not at first. It took another century. And what you're dealing with today in America, and I want you to listen to very, very carefully. The African American community has contributed some amazing, amazing things to spirituality, to America. Um, just even their faith, their trust in Hashem, their trust in God has been remarkable and such a witness down through the years. But what we find, and if you are part of the African American community right now, I want you to listen to me. One of the areas that I specialize in is ideological trends. And I specialize in how certain political parties, not just in America, use poorer communities to create a victimization narrative to further their agenda. I see it with the Palestinians. I see it with impoverished areas in America. I've seen it with areas of the Black community, the Spanish community, all right, uh, other minority communities. So, what they will do is they want to keep you poor. That's number one. They want to keep you poor. So, they can actually create a victim narrative. They want you to be the victim. Because if you're the victim, then they have a narrative of how they're going to save and free you. All right? They put themselves in place of God. So they want to keep you there. So they want to keep you on welfare. They don't want to educate you, pour their money into training and lifting you in society to become free and to become self-sufficient and to actually gain the ethically gain, all right, all of the blessings that you are deserving of and able to have just because you've been created in the image of God. They don't want that. They want to keep you poor. They want to make you angry. They want to keep you on that gerbil wheel of government support because that way they can feed their agenda. Like, okay, we are now going to help and we're going to serve, okay, the impoverished communities of America. So we're going to get rich on them. That's what we're going to do. So, but they want to put you in this place of victimization. They do it to the Palestinians. Whenever they have an agenda for the Middle East, all right, they use the Palestinians to further their agenda. And oh, the poor victimized Palestinians. Look at all of the organizations that play into this to be able to create an anti-Israel, anti-God narrative. Well, that's what they're doing in America. They're using these things to further their socialist agenda and create an anti-constitution, that which makes you free, all right? And an anti, not only constitutional narrative, but also an anti God narrative. We'll just put it that way, an anti-God narrative. Because, of course, they know better than God how to free people and how to bring people into this utopia of a world by giving them their little $1,000 a month when their bills are $1,500 a month, right? It's horrible. It's horrible. But this is what they do to you. And this is what they do all over the world. I can tell you trend after trend. When a political party or a national political party from other nations have agendas, they will actually first prey on the poorest communities, create a victim narrative, and then from there, all right, make them look, make themselves look like they're the saviors, all right, and that they have the answers. And the people that are in the victimization cycle get angrier, they get poorer, and they 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 have no hope. They lose hope, they lose faith, because who is going to set them free? They're actually being used as propaganda. So nobody will actually go in and really try to reform the communities to be free. And the truth is, the founding fathers of America had this vision that every man, every woman, every child was made in the image of God. And we're going to create a society where people can achieve their destinies and they truly can be liberated from the shackles of tyranny. And we have had constant tension in America, constant, because we are an immigrant nation. The last thing I'm going to say, and I have to run because of Shabbat, we're an immigrant nation. So think about this. When people come in from all over the world, they're going to bring their ideologies with them. And so when you bring your ideology, if you're coming from a communist country, there's going to be spillover there. You're coming from Europe, there's going to be spillover there. All right, God is not present in Europe. Okay, when you're coming from socialist areas of South America, there's going to be spillover. That's why really having that program when immigrants come to really teach on and share and work with them to understand the ethos, the constitutional ethos of America is so important, because it doesn't happen overnight. Just like even mindsets of slavery, when you're in slavery for hundreds of years, that it takes hundreds of years to undo that. It doesn't happen overnight. And that's what is so frustrating about the political narrative right now, because they're playing on victimization. They're using the past, which has been altered tremendously because of the liberties that are present in the Constitution, and men like Abraham Lincoln, men like Martin Luther King, that said there's inequity here and we've got to fix it. Inequity is not all having the same paycheck. Inequity is where there is injustice. In other words, you're not treating somebody like he should be treated as one who is made in the image of God. You should be lifting them, changing their lives, bringing them into abundance. That's what you should be doing. That's what God wants you to be doing, not making them a victim. And so we will pick this back up. I have to run. Shabbat is coming. But I just want you to know we are here. Let us know, again, if you like the name Raw and Real or Real and Raw. Oh, that's crazy. We'll put it up on the post after this goes in. Let us know your comments below. We are going live. It's going to be 2 o'clock every week. This week, we're actually working with this new platform. We lost Leah, but we will figure out how to get her back for next week. She's such a tremendous asset to what we're doing, because we're bouncing these ideas back and forth, and she really lends a fantastic perspective to all of this. But we're going to pick this conversation back up. Let me know if you're enjoying this conversation. Let me chime in. All right. And if you have any questions, let us know below, because we're going to be taking questions. It's kind of a free platform, but we're going to challenge the status quo that is undermining constitutional liberties for the American people, regardless of what where you've come from, regardless of what your minority status is, because in America, everybody has an opportunity, and they're trying to take that from you. Make no bones about it. They're trying to take it away. And we don't want to see that happen. So you have to be educated on uh, what the truth is. That's it. Not what the media wants you to know. Uh, the media can shape propaganda. They can actually shape how you think, what you know. They can shape your emotions. And it's not based on truth, it's based on their agenda. You don't want that. You don't want that. You have a better calling, you have a better future than to be a puppet. All right, I love you. And Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom from Leah as well. Ah, there's Leah. She's still stuck. Okay. Shabbat Shalom from her. And we will see you next Friday. And it will be somewhere right around our time, 2 o'clock, and your time, like 6 in the morning. All right, everybody. It's really been fun. Thank you so much. Let me see who was with us. Uh, Denise, great to see you. Thanks for all those names there, Denise. Alinda, always so good to see you. Elizabeth, so great to have you. Beth, always amazing. Thank you for your comments. You're quite right, Beth, about cultural Marxism. You are absolutely on. Excellent, everybody. Apologize again, but we're going to get this platform done, and when it does, it's going to be fantastic. All right, everybody. It's really been great. Shabbat shalom to you. Bye bye. All right.